Hey everybody, sorry it's been a long time since the last video. I've been busy and school is coming up soon, so here's my video right now. So today I'm going to talk about different types of eyes because everybody has their own preference as to what type of doll eyes that they like to use, and it really is just a personal preference. There are three general types of doll eyes that you'll encounter most. First is acrylic, next is glass, and the most expensive usually is urethane, which urethane is actually a type of resin, which is what the dolls are made of. It's just a different type. So first I'm going to talk about acrylic. These are usually the first eyes that anybody ever gets. They were the first eyes I ever got, and they are the cheapest eyes you can buy. I'll make sure to put some links in the video description, so I'll link you to some eye suppliers for general different types of eyes. So I took some pictures, and I think I can edit those into this video, but these are acrylic eyes, and they're very cheap. You can get more expensive ones, but if you pay more than like $10 or $15 for a pair, then you're definitely overpaying. This is a Volks animatic eye. They're made to look like anime eyes. So that's like actually painted in the eye. You can see they're half round. Sometimes they come with backs. These ones just don't have them. These are also a pretty standard pair. They're just a brown pair of acrylic eyes. You can get acrylic eyes for as cheap as $1. So I'm going to link you to the cheapest acrylic eye seller that I know of, but there are a ton of other ones. You can find them on eBay. So usually I wouldn't personally pay more than $5 for a pair of acrylic eyes. And most dolls come with acrylic eyes as defaults for the reason that they're very cheap. You can buy a lot of them for very cheap. Next, there's actually another kind of acrylic eyes. I guess they're somewhere between acrylic and urethane. But I consider them acrylic. They're soul doll eyes. This is kind of a dark color, but it's the only pair that I've got. They're pretty cheap, but they're a step up from the cheaper acrylics that I just showed you. These ones are not hollow in the back like acrylic eyes. See, it's hollow back there. So these are really light. This has a little more weight. They're a little deeper. You can see how much, that's called a paperweight actually, is how much sticks out the front of the eye. That's called the paperweight. So the next step up from there is glass eyes. Now glass eyes, you can pay as little or as much as you want for them. On eBay, I think you can start getting eyes at around, glass eyes for around $5. And they work. I personally would rather have a $5 pair of glass eyes than a $5 pair of acrylics. But these are two pairs of glass eyes. Glass eyes usually, as you can see, these are a similar size eye. This is 16 millimeter, this is 18. But weirdly enough, as you can see, the iris is much smaller on this eye. And that's just because glass eyes are all handmade. There's no way to make them by machine. So every eye is handmade by somebody somewhere. They usually have these stems on the back. Be careful because sometimes you can actually cut yourself on these. But yeah, so every pair is handmade by an artist. I just realized that was a funny place to put those eyes, like right over. Never mind. So the thing about glass eyes is you can buy super expensive ones or super cheap ones. The cheap ones are good. I enjoy them. I have a few pairs just because I think they're nice. Or they're super expensive eye makers. Most of them are from Japan. If you've looked through Yahoo Japan auctions before, that's where a lot of the more expensive eyes come from. And they're more expensive because, as you'll see in the picture that I show, there's something called threading. You know, when you look at your eye very close up, you can see there are like lines that radiate out from the pupil. They're trying to make it look similar to that. To be honest, I can only tell the difference because I love doll eyes. I don't know, I like collect them. I have a ton of them. So I can only tell the difference because I look at doll eyes a lot. So it's probably not even something most people would notice, the difference between a $100 pair of glass eyes and a $10 pair. And then that brings us to what's considered by a lot of people the most high quality eyes are urethane eyes. This is a pair that I really like by a maker called Mystics. This one's called Silver Bead, and instead of a pupil, they put like a silver ball bearing in there, so you can see it's a little different from other eyes, where when you look at it sideways, the pupil is recessed in the eye, so that it doesn't look like it sticks out, but this one. So, you'll see in the picture too, it's also got very careful threading in a specific way. Usually, urethane eyes reflect light beautifully, so they photograph themselves. You don't have to even work very hard to make your doll's eyes look beautiful. They also come in much brighter colors. Obviously, I'm showing you a gray pair here, so that doesn't really prove to you that they come in much brighter colors. So, those are all the different kinds of eyes. It just depends on how much you're willing to pay, pretty much. There are a ton of doll eye makers out there. Some of them will even make you custom doll eyes. I recently ordered a pair from Mystics of custom doll eyes, so I'll definitely show you guys when I get them. Mystics, I'll tell you about the prices, what I paid. This is my Mystics pair. I paid $60 for these. And I know that seems really horrible. Like, God, how can you pay $60 for these two little things? Wow, I just did it again. But they're little pieces of art to me. I really appreciate the work that goes into these beautiful little doll eyes. And really, what attracts people to ball jointed dolls most often is their beautiful eyes. So, it really is worth it to buy an expensive, nice pair of eyes that you love. Next is Ready Peach. You can get these eyes for anywhere from $10 to $20. I believe they're actually having a sale right now through their Den of Angels marketer. They sell them on eBay though too. I believe they're having a sale for around $12 for a pair of eyes, and I highly recommend these if you like sort of pupilless glass eyes. They're very clear. They have a nice high paper weight, which makes it so that when you put the eyes in the doll, the higher the paper weight, it looks like the eyes are following you. That's mostly what a higher paper weight is for. This pair of blue glass eyes, they came with a doll, but these are just a standard eye maker. I've had them for a few years, but I would say that if you wanted to buy a pair like this, you would pay about $20 to $30. Soul doll eyes range from $20 to $30. They have a ton of different types. They have really unique looking eyes. So you should check out their site if you're interested in cat's eyes or really bright colors that you can't pay for urethanes and you can't find in glass. Volk's animatic eyes, I think they charge around $20 for them. But as far as I know, somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but as far as I know, Volk's is the only place that you can get eyes like this, so that they look like anime eyes. And then these came from a Volk's doll, but you could get this pair of eyes for about $4, this pair of acrylics. So, I hope that was informative for you about eyes. I really recommend that you guys don't cheap out on eyes. The more eyes you'll get, if you're anything like me, the more eyes you'll get, the more you'll want to get, and you'll want to get really nice, beautiful eyes after you see these people with beautiful eyes in their dolls. So I hope that inspires you to go and spend a little money on your dolls, and keep requesting videos for what you'd like to see. So hopefully I'll see you guys again soon.